Environmental DNA represents genetic material retrieved directly from environmental samples rather than directly sampled from an organism. This groundbreaking approach has transformed how scientists study biodiversity and monitor ecosystems. The latest breakthrough in environmental DNA tracking comes through the capturing of eDNA from air samples. This revolutionary technique allows researchers to monitor various organisms without ever seeing them. Airborne DNA analysis opens new possibilities for tracking wildlife, detecting diseases, and monitoring environmental challenges. So what is this, John? Airborne DNA analysis?
So this scares me because this could be used for malicious intent. But before we get into that, let's dive into this. So the breakthrough in this is the ability to capture and analyze environmental DNA from the air. So we all know every organism in the world sheds DNA through skin cells, hair, saliva, waste, pollen, anything. And these fragments become airborne, especially skin cells. And those of you that don't know, dust is pretty much dead skin cells. Gross, I know, sorry. But researchers have developed a technique using simple air filters, sometimes even as basic as a fan and a paper filter, to collect these particles. And then once collected, the DNA is extracted and sequenced using advanced genomic techniques, such as shotgun sequencing and next generation sequencing, NGS. And these methods allow scientists to identify and catalog a vast array of organisms, from microbes and viruses to mammals and plants, all from a single air sample. The process is efficient. So it's not like this is a far-fetched, it's going to cost a lot of money. This scares me. What do you think about this, Craig?
It scares me a lot because this can be abused in so many different ways. But let's talk about some of the positive things, maybe.
Okay.
The method detects genetic traces from multiple species simultaneously. Forest air samples reveal which animals recently passed through an area. This comprehensive approach just replaces time-consuming camera traps. So we just smell. We don't need cameras to find out what was being there, which is very interesting. And physical tracking methods. Public health applications include surveillance of human pathogens in urban environments, because right now, the way we're doing that, or at least some companies are, through the sewage systems. And now they're testing the sewage systems in cities in certain areas to detect how much of any types of diseases are going to determine, but that's kind of...
And they're also testing for drug use too.
Yeah. So airborne genetic sampling detects viruses and bacteria circulating in populated areas. This early warning system identifies potential disease outbreaks before traditional methods. So I could see them putting those things in government buildings and all that kind of stuff. Allergen monitoring represents another crucial application. The technique identifies pollen types and concentrations affecting local populations. Healthcare providers use this information to advise patients with specific allergies. So testing in Dublin air samples revealed hundreds of human pathogens present in the atmosphere. This data provides valuable insights into urban health risks and disease transmissions. So those things are very interesting.
That is, yeah. So they can track the disease, like how it flows or where it's going, and hopefully identify it sooner than our current detection models, but that's positive.
Or seems positive. You can always, put on your, if I was a jerk hat, say, great, that means, all the insurance companies will have this in their office. So when someone comes in, we'll know all the pathogens you're carrying and we'll decide insurance rates based on that.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get a biosuit.
Yeah. So, people will use this to make money that will negatively affect society rather than positively affect society. But, we want to look at the positive benefits where we can. eDNA monitoring applications extend to detecting invasive species before they establish populations. Early detection enables rapid response to prevent ecological damage. Environmental managers use this information to protect native ecosystems. The method also identifies illicit substances in air samples. Law enforcement agencies explore the application for monitoring drug manufacturing and distribution. This capability extends beyond traditional environmental monitoring methods, which is very interesting. They haven't really developed, at least not that I'm aware of, a good drug test for marijuana when you're driving.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But like they don't have a breathalyzer or whatnot that I'm aware of. But with this type of thing, they will.
They have a saliva test though, a roadside saliva test now.
There you go. They probably do that. And again, that seems a little invasive. It's not invasive, I guess, but it feels, sticking a swab in your mouth is,
I think it's like, you remember the test for COVID, if you use a little bit of saliva, you spit in it. I think that's what they use. I could be wrong though. I think I saw one somewhere.
But let's be honest. Most people didn't do those tests right. You're supposed to shove it all the way to the back of your nostrils, like poking your brain level, and people weren't doing that. They're just sticking it in their mouth and going, "Oh, here you go." Yeah. So anyway, my point big is that's something you've got to do yourself, or a cop forcibly has to do to you, and it feels versus, hey, now we can have one of these sensors around. If it detects something at a certain level, that now gives us the right to run these tests.
Yeah.
Where, like probable cause or what have you, rather than just forcing this kind of thing on people. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Florida forest samples successfully traced the origin of various wildlife species. The data revealed migration patterns and seasonal movements previously unknown to researchers. This information guides conservation efforts and habitat protection strategies.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And environmental genomic baselines established through airborne sampling provide reference points for future studies. Researchers track ecosystem changes over time using these genetic snapshots. Climate change impacts become measurable through shifts in species composition. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. Geographical testing, and this is really cool. The question is when is all this going to actually be used on a regular basis?
Well, I think because they're using known techniques and everything, I don't think we're far off. I think we're a year or two off. I think even law enforcement might actually be testing it as we speak, and not telling us, obviously.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, if it's already been proven, why wouldn't they start using this now and not say anything?
Well, I went to pulling you over driving, rather than, hey, you can use these techniques to find the crack house, to find the meth lab, to find, where the fentanyl, because we'll be able to sample the air and this, people coming from this direction are heavily covered in that and whatnot. So, new way of tracking, new way of stuff, new way to feed the AI information to, a new world of Minority Report where there's nothing they know everything. There is no crime because they determined pre-crime.
Yeah, you could automate this with filters and then sensors in those filters spread out throughout the city, right? And then feeding an AI that, it's crazy.
Yeah, so there's lots of cool stuff here. We'd love to know what you think. The environmental DNA tracking through airborne sampling represents a paradigm shift in environmental monitoring. This revolutionary approach provides unprecedented insights into ecosystem composition and dynamics, and the technology enables comprehensive species surveillance without disturbing natural habitats. But the future, what happens to cities? It's great when we're talking about forests and climate change and all that, but when we apply this technology to people and crime and cities, we start to potentially look at some information that maybe we don't want out there.
Yeah.
I'd love to know your thoughts. Is this going to be an invasion of privacy use? Is this going to be something else? Are we going to be able to have these in the office and know when our employees are pregnant long before they are, and then be able to do something about it? The possibilities are endless. I'm just thinking of random stuff here. Let me know what you think this will be used for, and whether this is going to be a boon for society or a bane.
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah, no, just working on a couple things with some partners. So have a look out for that coming up. But just helping companies secure government funding. So depending on when this comes out, there could be some programs open. Just have a look at my LinkedIn or reach out to me on LinkedIn. But if they need help with everything else with their business, how do they find you, Craig? What do they do?
Well, head over to torontostarts.com. You'll find all our events and many of our stuff over there. If you're looking for help getting your business moving, looking for coaching, looking for workshops and events related to the startup community in Toronto, check out torontostarts.com. If you're looking to do business automation and you're figuring out where AI fits in your business, head over to flowgrammer.ca. That's where we do AI and no-code automations with NAN and other tools. And we have meetups and events to educate and promote these types of technologies that people should be using. So check that all out. And people should find you on LinkedIn, John, for non-dilutive funding, like you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, find me on LinkedIn. That's the best way. I think I have a link that you can book an appointment directly through my LinkedIn. I think I have that set up. If it doesn't work, please let me know. But yeah, find me on LinkedIn.
And I know this is inside baseball for the people who are listening, but we're putting out videos as well as the audio files now, and they all go out separate schedules. So we're going to have, like, this will go out much sooner on video than audio. So we'll have to cover whatever when we're talking about what we have going on.
All right.
So check all our websites out. And if you're looking for what's open right now, is FedDev open, John?
No. So there is a FedDev stream that's open right now. Oh, sorry, FedDev. No. So what I found out with FedDev, they should have been open by now, but because of the federal election, they are not. So by the time this comes out, they might be open, but they should have been open May, June, but it's delayed because of the election.
All right. Check out, if you're looking for information on non-dilutive funding for your business, check out John Irwin on LinkedIn.
Thanks, guys.
And thank you, everyone, for listening or watching.